I totally appreciate your honesty about like wanting to go somewhere else. I think that's a
Yeah.
big theme that we're going to be seeing in future episodes. Like, I think so often, we think the cool opportunity is out there somewhere, but it turns out like if you give it a chance, like East Kentucky has so many cool opportunities, and there's so many things that people can do if they stay right here at home. Hi there, and welcome to the reboot of the East Kentucky Works podcast. We are so excited to have you here. My name is Jen Breeze, and I'm a communications associate at EKCEP, and we're just really excited to be your hosts on this journey. Jaeclinn, take a second and introduce yourself.
I'm Jaeclinn. I'm also a communications associate with EKCEP, and we're really excited to get this podcast started and talk about all things workforce.
That's right. And since the main topic of this podcast is work, I thought it'd be really cool if we just talk about work in our lives first. So, just give you a little background on me. Um, I grew up in Ohio, and when I was a high school senior, they were like, "You got to figure out what you're doing with life, right?" And so I didn't have, I don't remember my guidance counselor being involved at all. I just kind of was like, I really wish I could just read to kids like at the carpet all day. Like, I think I'll be an elementary teacher. And my dad was like, you should be a nurse, better money, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't like blood and stuff. So no. So anyways, I was like the first one in my family to go to college. And
That's
I
cool.
did, yeah, it was very cool, and it was an honor, and it was scary, but I got a degree in elementary education, became a first grade teacher, and it was not what I thought it was going to be. Well, it turns out reading at the carpet with little kids is like this much of your week, and then
Not an
there's
all-day thing.
yeah, there's all the other pressures and juggling and like three-ring circus action in a first grade classroom. Oh man. So yeah, and then I got a master's degree in literacy. So like reading is obviously language has always been my thing. And when COVID came along, I was like, I had been in a part-time position as a curriculum coach at that time, and they furloughed me because of the pandemic. So I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to do something else. So I was like Googling like how to make money as a writer, or, like something involving reading or writing. That's always been my passion. And that's when I found copywriting. And, long story short, I am now here in communications department at EKCEP. And so I get to like read and write and create all the time. And I love it.
Yeah, that's the best. I love
Yeah.
our job. There's so
So
much to do all the time.
it is, and every day is totally different, which I love.
Yeah.
It's always something new and exciting. So, Jaeclinn, what about you? Like, what was your like educational training, or your like, what was your path to getting to where you are in your career?
Yeah, so I grew up in West Virginia, just like an hour from Olive Hill, where I am right now, and I did not know what I wanted to do. I had an idea, but I wasn't like set on anything. I wanted to be a physical therapist. I had no clue where I was going to go to college. I didn't pick a college until literally 2 weeks after, like right before graduation. And I went to Morehead State, and I swore I was not going to go there. It was too close to home. I did not want to be close to home. I mean, it's an hour away, so like it's not that close, but too close is what I thought. And then the cheer coach, Mark, he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, I think you should come see Morehead, come see how it is." And I was like, "Mom, I do not want to go." I literally was like, "I'm not going." She was like, "Jaeclinn, you just need to go. And if you don't like it, you don't have to go there." Like I was like, I'm going to Alabama, I'm going to USF, like I'm going anywhere but Morehead. But then I came to Morehead, I attended a practice, and literally the next thing I know, because my like tryouts for cheer were when I had a competition, I was trying out literally 30 minutes after I went to the practice. So I ended up going to Moorhead, and I tell everybody I went for cheer, but I went and I wanted to be a physical therapist. I was dead set to do physical therapy. Then I realized I am not a woman in STEM. Like, that is not my vibe. That is not what I want to do. I hate math and I hate science. Like, I had to take one math class in college, and you would have thought somebody was going to kill me. Like, it was awful. So then I went into convergent media. So it's just like the news, writing, all the things, journalism, basically. And I wanted to be a sports writer. So I got an internship my sophomore year. It was a paid internship, which was nice. And I worked for Flow Sports and did stuff for Flow Cheer, which is awesome. And I wanted to do that long term, but realized that it's a lot of traveling, a lot of never being home. And I was about to get married. I wanted to start a family. I was not about to travel every week and not be home. Like, you had to go so many places.
Yeah.
So I decided that there was a local boutique opening. I applied for that. I got that job, and I was a manager for about a year before I stumbled across EKCEP. And actually, my husband's grandma, she worked at Northeast, which is one of our contractors, coincidentally. And that she sent me the job ad and was like, I really think you should apply for this, because I really wanted a career. Like, I love working at the boutique, but to me, that was just like a job to hold me over till I found something that I really wanted to do. And I also freelanced and did social media management. So like, I knew I wanted something like in marketing, doing video, photo, like something like that, something where I could really be creative. So I applied for the job and I got it. And it's been great ever since. I've been here for a year and some change, and it's awesome. I love it so much.
That's so cool. I totally appreciate your honesty about like wanting to go somewhere else. I think that's a big theme that we're going to be seeing in future episodes. Like, I think so often, we think the cool opportunity is out there somewhere, but it turns out, like, if you give it a chance, like, East Kentucky has so many cool opportunities, and there's so many things that people can do if they stay right here at home.
Yeah, and I love being so close to like my family, and that's what I thought. Like, when you think about going to college, everybody's like, you need to go far away, you need to experience being like far from home, this, that, and the other. But honestly, there's nothing bad about staying close and staying in Eastern Kentucky or coming to Eastern Kentucky. If you would have told me that I would be living in Kentucky after college, I would have been like, you're crazy, like, that's insane. But here I am, and I love it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. I was thinking I kind of skipped over some of my career path too, because like I definitely was a hostess and a waitress in restaurants for many years. That's how I put myself through college, was working in restaurants, and that was like my motivation to finish college, because restaurant work was not it for me at all.
Yeah,
I mean, I was good at it. It's exhausting, and count your tips at the end of the day, and you're like, man.
Yeah, I've never done it, but I have friends who have done it, and they're like, after college is just not super worth it for them. So
yeah. So, what we want to do in this podcast is like really talking about workforce development, how people can get jobs, how employers can get employees. Like, there's so many different pieces to the puzzle. But one of the most common questions that I get is, what is a CEP, right? We're EKCEP, and what on earth does that mean, right? So the first thing is, like, how do we pronounce it, Jaeclinn?
We're EKCEP, not EKCEP, not EKCEP, EKCEP, Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment. Whoa. Sorry, choke there. Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program. But yeah, EKCEP, not everything under the sun. I've heard it all. So.
Okay. And so then, like, what does a CEP mean, right? So our CEP was established in 1968. And so that was back like President Lyndon B. Johnson had this war on poverty and was really trying to address like economic issues in certain areas. And Eastern Kentucky had a very high level of poverty. And so that we had this concentrated effort to try to build up employment in the workforce in this area. And how many CEPs are left in the country today?
Yeah, so there are 3 left. We're the only one in Kentucky, and then there's one in Minnesota and one in Wisconsin. And like you said, we're focusing on unemployment and people in poverty, and we're offering them training and education and services so that they can overcome those barriers that they may face. And in Eastern Kentucky, you know, there are a lot of barriers that people have had to overcome to be able to get themselves in the workforce. So yeah, being a CEP is super important.
Yeah, because that poverty still, you know, persists. Like there's generational poverty that we're working through, and you know, substance use problems, and there's so many things like when you're talking about barriers, like there are so many, and we'll go into that in future episodes. But you know, I think the reason that our CEP has lasted so long, since 1968, is that we've been innovative and we've been able to roll with the punches. And like when the coal mines shut down, like we had ways to help people. So that's one of the things that I think is super cool about us and unique about us, is like we're like the premier workforce entity here in Eastern Kentucky, because we've been doing this a long time, and we have helped, gosh, thousands and thousands and thousands of people get jobs.
And like you said, we are adapting throughout the years. I mean, we've been here for 5 decades. Like that's a lot to go through and to see as the workforce changes. And our CEP, EKCEP, we focus on 23 counties in our state. Mm-hmm. And with that, we also work with the Kentucky Career Centers. And like I said before, without somebody that I knew at a Kentucky Career Center, I wouldn't even have a job, because when you're coming out of college, like you just think, or even high school, and you're going into a trade or whatever that may be, you just think like, oh, well, everybody's hiring. Everybody wants someone to work. Like it's not going to be that hard to get a job. Okay. Reality check. It is so hard to get a job out of school.
Yeah.
It took me at least a year and a half, almost 2 years, to get like not a real job, but like a real meaningful career, something that I actually like wanted to do. And because everybody's like, I want this experience, I want this, that, and the other. But when you work with the Kentucky Career Centers that are funded through us, they can help you and get you in contact with those employers and those people. And it ends up being a lot easier to find a meaningful career that you want to do, which is awesome.
Yeah. That connection is so important. And you know, a lot of times they say like it's who you know, right?
Right.
If you don't know anybody, then you better get to a Kentucky Career Center, because you'll know them and they will be your best buddies. Like they can help you with in so many ways. I want to go into it, but I think we should save that for other episodes.
For sure.
So this whole CEP thing, like, what does that mean for the person listening right now? Like, why is that important?
Yeah, like we're not just about helping people find and land jobs. We're about empowering individuals and strengthening businesses. And we have a lot going on through our company and our programs. And yeah, we've just been helping find innovative ways to help Eastern Kentuckians thrive and be in today's workforce.
Yeah. And people like of all backgrounds, like it doesn't matter if you're still in high school or if you don't have any like formal post high school education.
Yeah.
You could be in recovery. You could be like just re-entering the workforce from having a stay in jail, or like a criminal record that's marring your background checks. Like we can help you. It doesn't matter what you've been through in your life. Like you got to start somewhere, and we can help.
Yeah, like you said, we have so many programs, which we'll touch on in more episodes, which is awesome. And we can help so many different types of people, so many different backgrounds, like you said. And I think that's great because at the end of the day, like everybody wants to be able to like come out of what they've been through and be able to work and be able to provide for themselves, their families, and getting to do that is awesome.
It totally is. So let's transition onto our EKCEP Quick Tip. We have just a real quick tip that we want to share with you, practical advice to help you on your career journey. So Jaeclinn, what's our quick tip this week?
Our quick tip this week is don't try to go at it alone.
That's right. Like Jaeclinn illustrated, like you have to know people. You have to tap into your network. Look into the resources, make use of your community. Like if you're just trying to sit in your house and like fill out Indeed applications, good luck to you.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I've been there, done that. I literally did it for a year. And even if I got a message back, half the time, I'm young. I was 22, 23 looking for a job. Nobody wanted anything to do with me. And like, which is crazy because you think like, oh, I'm young. I can provide like all this new experience. I can do this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, a lot of jobs are looking for older people. Is what you think.
Well, they want like entry level positions, but you've got 3 to 5 years experience already. It's
yeah,
like, well,
they want like
entry.
Yeah, they're like 5 years experience. I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna just be counting me going to college for 4 years because how can you have that much when you're going through school? Like that's just crazy. But that's a good thing, like I said before, about the career centers is that they really can work with you, work with the employers, get you connected to what you want to do. And it is so much easier to find a job when you have the help.
That's right. And then we have one more segment before we wrap up. We have our local labor market limelight. And so this is a time where we can just spotlight the hottest opportunities that are in the Eastern Kentucky market right now. And we have one of our favorites that we're buzzing about this week. Which one is that, Jaeclinn?
It's Teleworks USA, and it's work from home. I know a lot of people, especially since COVID, nobody's wanting to go into the office. Nobody's wanting to have to go somewhere to work. Everybody's wanting to do it from home. And Teleworks has actually been helping people get jobs since 2015. They work with employers all over the country and who are looking for qualified candidates, and they help fill those roles, which is awesome.
Yeah, totally. So if you want to connect with your local advisor, we recommend that you go to jobsight.org/work from home. We'll put the link to that in the show notes. We also have a Facebook page. You can follow Teleworks USA on Facebook.
Follow our socials, Facebook, Instagram. We got it all. So
because there are events happening all the time and we post them there.
Yes, anything important, anything cool going on, it's usually posted on the Instagram, the Facebook. Even on the website, we have an events page. So it can keep you up to date with everything that's happening.
Yeah, check our show notes for more information. And so stay tuned for more updates in our next edition of the Local Labor Market Limelight. And that's all we have for you today. If you're looking for a job and want to advance your career, EKCEP is here for you.
Yes, EKCEP is the place to go.
That's right.
First episode down, Jen. Let's go.
All right. Have a great day, Eastern Kentucky.